group, the Anglo-Americans. How do you describe their mindset, their vision from their writings, from your uncle's writings, Joel Skousen, from your deep research? Because if you're a new listener, Joel Skousen is extremely well-read. I am extremely well-read, and I learn stuff from him all the time. So he really does know what he's talking about with a lot of gravitas. So I want to get your view. From my research, at the top, they really are a scientific, eugenics-based cult, believing that they're going to become God, merge with the machines and colonize space, and that through this transcendence to this super sapien, that the rest of us are profane and must be destroyed and die. So it's almost like a counterfeit of what God does, saying he'll test us all on the planet and get his elect. Well, they're saying we'll do it right here, right now. And that's really who they are and what they're setting up. And I wanted to ask you, how many people do you think they've recruited into their cult? Because it's well known that David Rockefeller and others personally would go around to get the people with the highest test scores in college and recruit them into their organizations. My dad had some of the highest test scores across the board in Texas, and they tried to recruit him. It wasn't David Rockefeller, but it was the head of the botany department. And that's why my dad would read John Birch Society stuff and knew how accurate it was because he was politically active, conservative, top of his class, and so they tried to recruit him, and he was a junior in high school. We're point blank with him about some of the larger ideas, and you're going to be part of the scientific elite, and eugenics is bad with Hitler, but ours is a good eugenics. I mean, the fact that even my dad was attempted to be brought into this, it must just be massive. How many people are part of the conspiracy, and what is it? Who are they?
Well, the brain trust that they bring in, they always keep at lower levels. I don't know anybody in ever the scientific community within these that ever gets higher than second level. And the second level, I mean people like Henry Kissinger, Brzezinski, Brent Scowcroft, Sandy Berger, Strobe Talbot, those national security advisors who manage and run presidents and call the shots. Henry Kissinger may well have moved into top areas like top echelons like David Rockefeller, but clearly I don't see them at the highest level as running this on a scientific basis, trying to manage the world themselves. Everything that the globalists tend to do is counter to anything that the most wealthy elite would normally do. What? Bring a nuclear strike against your own nation, destroying the very power base of your money. No one in their right mind who has solely the motivation to power, greed, wine, women, song, and numerous locations around the world to vacation would do that to themselves. I think these people, the only thing that really explains their motive is, as you said, they are trying to escape the judgments of God. They've made a pact with Satan, and I think that it's revelatory from dark spiritual forces to these higher elite, probably less than 100 at the most that understand that satanic connection. But, this has a generational effect. It's been going on for centuries, as you know, Alex, and there's no man who can project 200 years in advance a plan so diabolical as the globalists have done and expect it to be followed through. The mafia can't handle something through 2 generations, let alone 3. Not speaking of, 2 centuries. And so it has to be revelatory. It has to be guided. And, I think that there is not only the motivation of immunity that's given to people, and certainly Bill Clinton acted in the presidency as if he had total immunity, and so does Barack Obama, for that matter. So that's how I think the thing operates. It operates on a satanic revelatory basis, promising them that if you help me become the God of this world, I'll protect you not only in this earth from immunity, but in the life to come from the judgments of God.
And that's, of course, the Faustian story. Yeah. And at Bohemian Grove, the entire ritual that I caught on video, also Skull and Bones, has been caught. It's all about escaping judgment. And when I was standing with over 1,000 wealthy men, movie stars, bank heads, former vice presidents, you name it, were there, they were more religiously in rapture than anything I've ever seen go into a Baptist church as a kid. I mean, they really believed they were being given atonement and shielding from what they'd done on this earth. And they say that. The high priest, that was Walter Cronkite at the time, he's now dead, literally says this. The whole ritual's on video, folks, in my film Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove. It's been on HBO. It's been on Trio channel. It's been on Sundance Film Channel. I mean, this is real. And for somebody like me, I was kind of giggling a little bit, and they looked at me like they wanted to kill me. They were so serious, Joel.
Well, that's incredible. I think you did the world a great service by infiltrating the Bohemian Grove. We'll be forever grateful. But I think it's important to realize that very few people could handle that kind of knowledge that this is satanic in its orientation. People who get very heavy, very corrupted, and higher up, they'll do anything to maintain their position. They also know that people get eliminated when they get cold feet and they start to talk. And so that also keeps them in line. But most people are brought in, just like the scientific community, to do mind control experiments. They're told there's some beneficial aspect.
Oh, yeah. End justifies the means. Stay there. Joel Skousen, worldaffairsbrief.com. Get his film and book at InfoWarsStore.com.
This hour brought to you by InfidelBodyArmor.com. When it hits the fan, don't be left without the body armor that will save your life. With prices starting at just $374.99 and ships free. Get yours at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Just won't quit.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
You've forgotten to monitor blockitpocket.com, haven't you? Oh, how quickly we forget. Blockit Pocket wants you to know that they never forget. You have a right to use wireless technology, privately and safely. So go now and monitor blockitpocket.com's complete line of custom-designed and American-made products. Blockitpocket.com. Enhance your health and privacy in a wireless world. It's here, only at blockitpocket.com.
Americans, prepare for financial ruin. That is what one of the world's richest men, Donald Trump, said just a few weeks ago. What are you doing to prepare? The problems that caused the last financial crisis were never fixed. In fact, they're even worse now. The total amount of debt in the U.S. has grown by more than 57% since September 2008. The too big to fail banks are much larger, and the massive derivatives bubble is spiraling so far out of control that the only thing left to do is watch the spectacular crash landing that is inevitably coming. If you're a baby boomer with retirement funds, it's time you consider exiting the Wall Street casino and start a cash-flowing international business of your own. There may be ways to preserve your wealth, but history has shown that few things can grow your wealth like having your own business. The crash is coming. Take measures now to soften the landing. Go to babyboomerBackupPlan.com or call 888-507-8789. That's babyboomerBackupPlan.com.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now.
We're going to open the phones up in the next hour. And Joel Skousen's agreed to stay with us 20 minutes in the next hour so we can take a few questions, specific questions for Joel Skousen of worldaffairsbrief.com. I'm Alex Jones of Infowars.com. Again, the film, Strategic Relocation, that I produced with Joel Skousen, is a complimentary film. It complements Strategic Relocation, North American Guide to Safe Places, 3rd edition, that just has incredibly accurate information in it from just the areas I've been in and lived in around the country. Just amazingly accurate. And I've talked to other people that live in different parts of the world or the country. He's just done unparalleled research and intelligence, all available at InfoWarsStore.com. You can also call 888-253-3139 to order it via the telephone. We can answer all your questions. And then separately, I personally, for my immune system and my health, am taking Survival Shield, Nascent Iodine X2. Almost everybody out there is deficient in iodine, and it just does so much in the body when you don't have it. To the immune system, the thyroid, you name it, Survival Shield X2 is so important. We have the Silver Bullet, colloidal silver as well. We have the Super Male Vitality that's just natural herbs and things known to not mimic testosterone, but just to get your glands producing naturally. We've also got the DNA Force that's got the high-level organic bio-PQQ and CoQ10 and so much more, a true nutraceutical, the Oxy powder to flush out your intestines. It's all available at InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. Joel, getting back into the spiritual nature of this, I grew up in the richest county in Texas outside Dallas. It was richest county in Texas at the time, Rockwall. And I ended up knowing some of the kids of billionaires. Real billionaires who didn't show it off a bunch. And if you scratched them, you found serious occultism. And I don't mean Eastern stuff or New Age, you know, front door stuff. I mean Luciferianism. And I ran into that quite a bit. And I don't run into that a lot in Austin. It's more New Agey. But when you talk about Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove, when you talk about world leaders in rapture doing mock human sacrifices and believing that it atones them and that some goddess that they're praying to is going to remove their sins and protect them from what they've done, and they put it on the body of this child that they're killing and burning, just like they did in Leviticus. They say, give not your children to the fires of Moloch. They really are at the bottom of the rabbit hole. It really is a satanic conspiracy. A few minutes on that in your research into it.
Well, you know, there is some of that is attributed just to satanic inspiration that talks to people's minds, you know, that drives them to suicide and dark thoughts and other weird type of things. But at the higher levels, the Faustian Pact really is real. I mean, Satan does reveal himself to certain people who are susceptible, who leave them. I mean, this doesn't happen to anybody who's just trying to do the right thing. You've got to actually be actively seeking power. You've got to be seeking to get ahead in the world. You know, in my opinion, you take several of these, and there's been several books written on this about the New Age cults and relationship to the rock stars and who became rock stars and the dark agenda behind it. And there seems to be a revelatory agenda there that, you know, if you tie into my system, I will make you famous. I'll drive into your mind, you know, melodies that will become popular, that will make you a star, and it happens. You take Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. It's filled with satanic, dark dreams, and they make Satan basically the image of the hero, trying to get recognition, making him the victim of discrimination. And, you know, it just, if there's ever a revelatory image of Satan trying to make it in this world, to dethrone God and to become the hero, it's the theme in the Phantom of the Opera. And I can't help but think, when I look at the fact that many of those musical themes in the opera have been stolen from other pieces of music before, and the rest...
Hold on. This is powerful. Joel Skousen's our guest. He's going to stay with us. See how long he can stay in the next hour and take calls. See how long he wants to stay. Third hour, tell your friends and family, tune in. This is important.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, bio-PQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Waging War on Corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.